Good morning, peoples. Early Monday morning here at the house. Had a big snow over the weekend. Next day it got up in 50s. It's all gone. I done the video about how I obtained the farmer road, so I thought in this video I'd do a little walk around. Basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to get practice in editing my videos, so I may be putting stuff up here you don't care about, but you'll just have to bear with me. I need to practice. All right, we're going to start off in the engine room here. The engine room on the farm road is exceptionally tight, as you would see. It's even tighter than a VC. Couple of little things I want to point out in here. If you look up there, there's the instrument cluster, and you see the temperature line coming off of it that goes to the back of the block. This is not correct for this vehicle. The farmer road had a very short line coming out of the temperature unit to the back of the block. Mine was missing altogether. The cluster was gone, and I was able to find one out of a CC and just used it. So I just took the excess line and coiled it up and put a zip tie in it. Finding the proper dash cluster for a farmer road is impossible. If you can't find the farmer road, you certainly can't find the dash cluster. All right, now over here, one only other thing to point out, I like to put a disconnect on all my Crosleys. I don't like them sitting around hooked up. I think you're always inviting the possibility of a fire there. Now, on a farmer road, putting a disconnect on the battery is quite a treat because the battery is under the floorboard and you got to take part of the floor out to get to the battery. So what I done, I took one of your standard disconnects, I put it on the side of the starter solenoid. It actually works out quite well. I unscrew the green knob, make the connection, put the green knob back in, we're good to go. Really, that's about the only other thing I guess I might want to add on this. You see the difference in the radiator and farmer road? They have a shroud, and I'm assuming that is to get more air through the radiator to keep the cooling system working properly. It is so tight in there that I imagine it's to make more air blow through to force the hot air out the bottom. That's just what I'm guessing, but that's the way they were made. All right, I'm going to break here and go around and show you another feature of the farmer road. Okay, now we're inside looking at the dash cluster. Got your standard CC gauge sets in there. Pal used them over, I'm sure. He didn't want to waste anything, so that's what they got. They started building these in 50, and they did not put the rectangular ones in them, so he was obviously using up inventory that he had. So that's the way that goes. You got your choke over there on the right, ignition set in the middle, headlights next, and then right here, this right here is to set your controls on your throttle. You can set a constant speed on your throttle with a hand control, and that would be for like various farm tools and things you might be using where you needed that constant speed. Of course, over here we got our turn signal, got a windshield wiper motor there. They came one standard from the factory. Two is an option, but they went ahead and punched the holes in the cowl for the line for the optional right side windshield wiper. This piece right here, I'll give you a little example how that works. This is the parking brake. If you pull this straight back and drop the dog on it, it locks your rear brake, and that's your parking brake. But it also has another feature. This lever is connected to the rear drums independently. One cable or one mechanism goes to the right, one goes to the left. When the farmer got to the end of the field, he could grab this and pull it to the right side, and it would lock that wheel up and make it turn real tight. Or he could go this way and lock up the left wheel, and it would turn at the end of the row. So he didn't have to do a lot of reverse and backing up and stuff like that. That's how that worked. Now, you got the shifters right here, of course. This is your high-low gearbox. High-low in this thing is crazy low. So, I mean, you can literally, in first gear low, you can get out and walk way faster than this thing will roll. If it had hydraulics, which it did not, that lever would be right in here somewhere. This thing did not have it. I have no sign that this ever had any hydraulics on it. We'll walk around, show you something here on the other side. Oh, by the way, there's your standard setup on the back. That whole unit can be lifted up out of brackets, take the bed off, and then there's places on the frame to put it so you still have your proper legal running lights. Right here. Do not pull windshield. Now, just ask Barry Seal how many broken Farmer Road windshields he's seen with bent frames because somebody decided to lift herself up out of the seat by grabbing the windshield and pulling up on it. I got way too much money in that windshield to be having somebody break it for me, and I know Barry probably really doesn't want to make me another one. So, do not, if you have Farmer Road or you ever ride in my Farmer Road, do not grab that windshield to pull yourself up. I'm liable to swat you. I want to tell you a little quick one about this right here. They had a Grabbar on them. Problem was, mine was missing. A lot of them are. But what happened, the man I bought this from, at the time, he also had two Volkswagen seats with the high backs on them. Well, the standard in the Volkswagen restoration business is you can take the high back seats, cut that top integrated headrest frame off, redo the seats, and you got early seats. They're all the same except for that integrated headrest. He had me cut his down, alter the covers so they'd go on, he's putting in an earlier VW Bug. I had to find I was going to bend some pipe to make that Grabbar, and then I happened to look at my scrap pile, and I seen that piece right there, and I thought, my gosh, that's almost perfect. So I cleaned it up and welded it on, and the man that sold me this thing, part of his Volkswagen's riding around in it. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to release the dump bed and show you what's going on under there. Okay, I got the dump bed tipped back. I'll zoom in here. Normally there would have been bolts right there. I put hitch pins in there in case I ever do need to take this bed off. I don't have to mess around with wrenches and such. There's the arms that actually lock the bed in place. Now, I added mud flaps to the back and the front of these because I couldn't stand the thought of road grime and rocks and stuff slapping up on the bottom of it, so I added those. Right here's one little feature I'll show you. Now what this is, that locks down the suspension. It's on all four corners of a farmer road. These were used when the farmer was pulling a plow or disc or something where you didn't want the suspension to work. If you notice, tractors do not have a suspension. They don't need that tractor bouncing in the field and the plow going up and down or the disc going up and down. That's what those were for. The back ones are in fine order. The front ones I've got to fabricate a couple little pieces for and they'll be correct. And then the rest of it is just your typical stuff back here. There's your Spicer rear end. Just normal stuff back here in the back. Okay. I might mention on these rear hubs, the Farm Road has a rather big hub back here, and that's so your dual wheels can be put on and supported. Now, from the factory, they only came with the shallow disc on the front only. There was nothing on the back. Well, I didn't really like that. And I found out that if you still had a pair of the deep dish hubcaps, they would fit over the hub. And it kind of makes the thing complete. I'm kind of rather surprised Powell didn't do that, but it might have cost him another 50 cents, and so he decided not to do it. And on these hubcaps, these are the standard Crosley hubcaps. All I did was peel the chrome off of them. That part that says Crosley is just a chrome cover that's crimped on the hubcap. You can go around the back of that, undo the crimp, pop that off, paint it, and you got yourself a Farmer Road hubcap. Shock absorbers, yeah, that's a tough one. Best I can figure, nobody's making them. I spent hours looking through Rock Auto's website, looking for older cars that I knew would have weak suspensions, and I looking for the proper upper and lower mounts until I found what I needed. Now, these are dual action shocks. The Crosley would have been single action. Some say that that's hard on the frame of the vehicle. Probably is if you were using it every day and bouncing around on country roads. But for what I'm doing with it, I think it's fine. Actually, I don't know why Powell wasted money putting shocks on these things. There is literally no travel on this suspension. You can jump up and down the bumper, and I bet it doesn't move a half inch. It's just stiffer than a board. So I guess people expect shocks, so he put them on there. One thing I did do, if you can see over there, for tying down the trailer, I added those chain links. I bolted them into the shock mount and everything there. When I pull this thing up in the trailer, it makes putting my straps on it a heck of a lot easier. Well, I do believe that is all we're going to have time to do for a quick run around on the little Jewel. As I said before, it's been quite a fun little project. I will add this. Originally, that's wide open. I liked absolutely nothing about that. So I fabricated a little panel to close that in. I would say here at this point, whenever I do something that's not original to the vehicle, you know, if we were doing a Concord restoration or something, that'd be different. But I don't do anything that can't be easily reversed to make it correct. And that panel is one of those things. The battery disconnect, that's one of those things. The mud flaps. I don't do anything down the road when I'm long gone, and that's the only way this thing won't be mine if I'm dead. That next owner, he can do what he wants to with it. But I can tell you right now, the next owner is going to be my grandson, and he's not going to do anything to it to reverse what I done, so we're good to go here. All right, folks, that's the walk around on the Farmer Road. Like I said, the whole object of this is giving me practice in editing, so if it's boring to you, I'm sorry. But hopefully this will make me better at this down the road. Anyway, time to go to work. Thanks for watching. By the way, click subscribe, and like. I'm not making any money on this, but it gives me a better view of who's watching and things of that nature. I can see your comments a little better and everything. So just subscribe and like. I'd appreciate it. Thanks.